All right, good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing on this fantastic Tuesday morning? It is the 18th of January. We're going to take a look at some FX pairs. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and some other crypto assets if you want me to take a look at them. First, we'll start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is testing a 3-day supply, or not supply, apologies, a 3-day support zone. Let me go out here to the 3-day chart so I can show it to you. It's right here. So it's just the close of that candle. That is where Bitcoin is currently testing now. Since you put in this bullish engulfing here, this area was tested previously by the last 3-day session. So the fact that we're down here again and taking out the lows of that candle doesn't really look great, but the level can hold. It can hold. It just needs its time. People need to step up and buy this. Just give me 1 second, make sure. Stream is unlisted. Fuck. No, it's not okay. Let me fix it. Damn it. There. Alright. That's my bad. Let me resend the thing. What a great morning. I overslept, and so it's probably going to be like that all morning. Let me reshare the link. I forgot to take it off unlisted. Thank you guys for telling me. Alright, just bear with me one moment. Whoops, you already said that. Yeah, but it's unlisted. So let me delete that. Just bear with me. I mean, it's not a big deal if nobody shows up either. Really, truly. Alright, that one should be the right one. And then over here, I delete this one. I mean, it is okay, but the only people that'll be able to watch it are the ones that actually use the link. A lot of the people that show up, they're from YouTube, so they don't even use the link or get the link. And some people that want to get the link, for some reason, they still don't get the notification. So nothing I can do about that, but hopefully that's better. Yeah, no, it should be fixed now. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So back to what I was saying. Bitcoin testing 3-day support. If we go out to the daily chart real quick, you can see that it is also demand on the daily. This demand zone, this long-bodied wick. I don't like to use these levels as demand or supply when they have a very small body like that, but it is what it is. It also lines up with 3-day support, and the higher your time frame, the more weight I put on the support or resistance level. The problem with those levels is you have to almost wait for the thing to close before you're going to know if it's going to be a good test or a bad test. Right now it appears to be a decent test. You can see here, this is the daily. We have taken out yesterday's low, so the trend is continuing to the downside as of right now. If we go into intraday price action, you can see it's basically not doing anything at all and hasn't been for quite some time. It looked like we were going to get a bullish pop when we got above that trend line. It was the only thing that was bullish about the whole setup in the first place. But Bitcoin has trended right back to the downside. This is typical in bear markets where bullish bounces get sold into. So keep that in mind. Every time that you try to buy one of these bounces, please understand that there's a high likelihood that it's going to get sold into. And you can see that right here on this daily chart. This thing has been sold into on every attempt to get bullish. It has made it 2 or 3 days tops being strong, and then in come the bears. So we'll see what happens. I really thought that it would hold support here because it is a big level of support. If you come over here and look, you can see that that was also where support held here. So it's a big, big level. You are trading underneath a monthly support, but there is still 13 days left on this candle's close, so anything can happen from there. There's a big reason for that level, though. That's also going to be your quarterly Heath level. So that's quarterly supply from this candle. I know the line stretches from this candle, but we can move it over. So right there, I mean, that's not very far from near-term price. You can see it on the hourly. So that was tested to perfection here. And you're seeing sell-side activity. It's not brutal selling, though, right? It's not big, massive downside candles. It's just your normal average chop. Choppity chop chop. Chopping everybody apart like minced meat. Not us, everybody else. We know better than to try to buy this crap. And it's too low to short, right? You can't, if you were going to short it, you short it up at the highs of the range. You don't short it at the lows of the range. You're slightly in the middle of it anyways. Excuse me 1 second. Oh man, thank you. Overslept this morning. It's cold here in this state finally. South Florida, I mean, at Christmas time you could have went to the beach if you wanted to. But today and yesterday, it's cold, so the heater's rolling. When it gets like that, I can sleep like a baby. All right, let's see here. We're going to go check out some other things real quick, specifically pound yen. Now, I discussed pound yen yesterday in a Discord session that I am looking for this thing to get bullish based on the trader sentiment. Let me see if I can even pull that up. It's probably unlikely. Well, here, I can do it this way. Instead of scrolling through 1,000 messages, I'll just go straight to the source. Bear with me 1 second. All right, here we are. So if you look here on pound yen, you can see that 79% of retail is net short this asset. Now the thing about the sentiment is it does work sometimes, right? It's like everything in trading. It's not the holy grail, but when a buildup like that occurs, in a lot of cases, you will see the market continue its trend. So if it's in a bullish trend and retail is net short, then that bullish trend will continue, and vice versa. If retail is net long on an asset that's going down, then that asset will tend to trend lower because price goes where the liquidity is. And if you get a big buildup of retail traders trying to pick tops and bottoms, that's what keeps trends going. Now, you can see here that it says that 93% of people are net long silver. That's not the same thing because silver is an asset that you would like buy and hold as a store of value. Similar to Bitcoin, I'd say if you looked at the Bitcoin chart or if they had Bitcoin on this thing, it would as well be like insane like that. 94% of retail is net long. It's just, and gold is usually that, so it's really weird to see that gold is actually down to only 70%. So we'll keep an eye on it, but this one is obviously the one that I like the most out of the FX pairs. This one is where most of the sentiment lies, and it is of a bearish nature. So if we go out here and look at this chart, let's start with the 3-month, as I can give you a solid foundation as to why I'm looking at this as a bullish bias. So we have this long-term trend line. I have brought this up in many older live streams like last year, because this trend line has been here for a minute. You can see here on log scale that you have not broken above this trend line on a quarterly basis. If I take log off, you can see last quarter you broke out of that trend line. All right, and it was a decent breakout candle. You can see here you exploded above quarterly res and that trend line. So we would look for that trend to continue. So is it likely that price pulls back to 153,657 and finds support? It is. It is absolutely possible. Is it possible that price doesn't find support there and I am just wrong? Yes. Yes, it is possible. So keep that in mind before taking this trade. Let me go back here real quick because that doesn't line up with something. So if we throw this on here, so this is your new resistance level on the quarterly. Go back over here to the daily. You'll see it lines up nicely with this zone of old resistance, seeing if it wants to become new support. We did get a daily test into that area the other day, so we shall see what happens. I'm not going to. Yesterday I was looking for it to just test this area and then go, right? And once again, there is a beautiful retail pattern up here for me to attack. I think you guys have heard of it before. I think people call them a double tap. 1, 2, and you're rolling away. So that's the perfect, everything retail needs to get net short on this asset. So since retail is net short, and we know that there and there is where the liquidity is, that is my target. But it must find support first. 155, 754. So this is going to be the first area I look for support. And also keep in mind your oscillator, it's still clocking in at about 58. So a 50 test could happen. But it is out of the overbought regions, which is good. You can see that even though price is trading sideways up here, the oscillator is taking a nosedive. That means you are losing your bearish momentum. And if retail doesn't see that, they should. If you are short this asset, please understand that so is all of retail. And it's never a good thing to be on the same side as retail. It is every now and then, because like everything in trading, everything works, just not all the time. So that retail sentiment indicator could absolutely be wrong this time. Retail could be right this time. Okay? They are right sometimes. So we'll keep an eye on it. Short, we got an objective level of price to watch for support. If we lose that level on a daily closing basis, and the next day you get the same bearish continuation, then scrap the trade. Quit looking at it. But I do this every day, so I'll be keeping it on my watch list. I do believe this thing's going to find support sooner than later. And then let's pull up the RSI so we can, or not the RSI, excuse me, the 21 exponential moving average. So you can see there, all of your bullish indicators are stating that this asset is bullish. So you're above the 50. You're above your 21 exponential moving average. So you're near-term bullish on a daily closing basis. And until that changes, I will be looking for areas to get long on this asset. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Heath? Good morning. What's up? What's up? Tino has no potential. I don't know who he is, guys. Thank you, Alone. I did not mean for that to be unlisted. Absolutely not. We never want a public live stream to be unlisted. He thinks for what you do, my man. Would you please do CRBUSDT on KuCoin? Yeah, let's go look at it real quick. Because I don't really have much else to talk about. I mean, Bitcoin ain't doing snot. Bitcoin is doing nothing. It's just testing support again. So there's no trade on it. There's no short or no long, in my opinion. Not yet. CRVUSDT is not in a downtrend as much as Bitcoin is. Is this one of the, let's see here, metaverse plays? It is not. I mean, the last 4 days you've been bearish. It's coming into a potential area of demand. So keep that on watch. If you're looking to get long this asset, you definitely want that level to hold on a daily closing basis. And that level is $4.50. So you're potentially coming into a spot where you can potentially look for a trade. You can see here that it found supply up there. So it looks like you're trying to set in a near-term range. So price gets a bullish bounce, trades up into there, rolls over, coming back into supply. You are under your 50. And you are under your exponential. So the long side of this asset, it is losing strength. Keep that in mind. So if you're looking to get long this, just make sure you wait for that daily close. A couple of them if you have to. Because it might take this asset time once it does get into support to actually, you know what I mean, hold support. Here's a section where you came into resistance and resistance held for 3 days. Support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would have been a day to enter. And that was 6 days after you came into support. So don't rush it. You do not have to buy it right now expecting this to turn around instantly. It can and sometimes will turn around instantly, but most of the time you're going to set at support for a majority of time. So, yeah, but it's potentially coming into an area that you could definitely keep an eye on it for sure. LTC was a short. I didn't take it. Good morning, Jay Bradley. Good morning, John. Good morning, KF. SNX. Yeah, let me go look at SNX. And then I'll pull up Litecoin for West, SNX USDT. Man, it looks bad. It looks like Bitcoin. It's just weak. Like, I don't even like this one. This one's setting as supports too, but there's a bear trap. The fact that you're testing it again, yeah, not so much a trap. So it's into 2 different areas of support, and both of them are really, really close. Really, really close. And you can see this day right here tested this one. And you're getting a bounce from that intraday. But, I mean, will it hold? Not much of a bounce either. Anything is possible. There's still even a swing high down here that wasn't touched. So, I mean, that could be the near-term bearish target. So you traded into support here, and you got a nice bounce. But now you're back in it, and you've not gotten that bounce. I mean, people are trying to buy it, and it can be getting accumulated. It can take a while for it to actually work, but that's your immediate area on SNX USDT. It looks like it's going to break down. I wouldn't short it right here, right now, but this asset looks like it's ready to puke to the downside. Here is 3-day support. You can see that you are trading below it. That's your target right there. 457 is the target. Yeah, I mean, I'd be looking potentially for that target to get hit before trying to get long. I mean, it's just disgusting. Here was your bounce, and that bounce immediately got sold into. So that's a trap. Big trap. I mean, that was a legit breakout. If I put this line on resistance, you can see that midpoint of that bullish breakout is right there. And this area is going to be your midpoint. And that is a legit bullish breakout. And it got sold into. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't be looking for entries on this to the long side. Guys, if the bear market's here, trying to buy these things at every dip is going to get you wrecked. Wait for bullish signal. You need bullish price action before you can look for bullish entries. I mean, you would need to get above something like that on this asset before you could even start looking for bullish, you know what I mean? You hit oversold regions, so the bounce was probable, right? It came almost all the way up to the 50 spot, and then boom, back down. So this oscillator has cooled off. You can see this thing rip to the downside and take out that liquidity wick there. I wouldn't be aiming for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's already been going down so much. It's so extended to the downside. But your oscillator's cooled off, and this is a 3-day time frame. So this asset is bearish. Bearish AF. There's your weekly. Bearish AF. Double week. Bearish AF. Monthly. Bearish AF. 3 month. Well, this hasn't been around long enough to call it 3 month, but every single time frame from a 3 month and under is bearish. You are in a bear market. Sorry. So be careful trying to buy dips. I mean, if you want to accumulate this asset for the next bull market phase, by all means, you know what I'm saying? By all means, but don't be one of those, I bought high and I don't want to sell it and now I'm sitting in the red and my account's down 50%, so I'm just going to hold it till next bull market. Don't do that. Please don't do that. A lot of people did that on Bitcoin. A lot of people kept their money at 20K. I mean, they look like geniuses now. Excuse me. All right. So this asset is from wick high to wick low, 84% off. And you're not at 84% off. I'm just saying from the extreme high to the extreme low, you are 84% off. So is it time to buy SNX? It's $5 a piece. You know what I'm saying? You want to throw a couple $100 on it and just set on it? Absolutely. It's 84% off. How much more can it go off? Well, it could go off all the way to zero. It's unlikely that it does. Unless something massive comes out and they say the synthetics network was a scam, something like that were to happen, then it would crash. But if it's a legit company, it's probably a good time to buy it. 84% off. But it just depends on what your time frame is and what you're looking for. All right, and then now let's go to Litecoin. LTC USDT. Since I was so late getting up, guys, don't worry. I'll run it into the into 7:30 or whatever. I usually don't like to do that, but it's all right. All right, so this is what Wes was talking about. Taking the short, because he knows he's part of the Trade Talk Discord. If you short, we look into short bounces in bearish assets, right? And this was a bounce. It was a beautiful bounce up into resistance. I mean, absolutely perfect test of resistance. Yes, you got a nasty wick above, but that's defensible. We can defend against that. See here, and you drop down into a time frame. You see how this wick is a little bit lower than this one? That means there's a pretty high probability that this thing took a fantastic entry off of a supply zone. And then here we are. Boom. So gave us a little bullish fake out. This would have been the key. This would have been our signal to start looking for a pullback to get short. And what you would have been waiting for to get short is at the very minimum a test of that bullish candle. And you can see how this wick got front ran. So many people got short on this thing here that it didn't even get a full-on test of supply for a rip to the downside. So that was the great call, Wes. Great call. Fantastic trading, my friend. When you can start seeing stuff like that and then it starts working out, that's going to build up your confidence. You're going to be like, you know what? There's something to this. There's really something to this. So, and then you're going to start just nailing it. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But yeah, so now here's that low all the way down here. Will it go all the way down there? I don't know. Chances are it'll make a range. It'll get caught up probably well before that low. But I mean, I'd be taking profits on it now because you took out yesterday's low. You've taken out this low here. You're coming into support potentially, but you're trading under it. Next area is going to be 136 spots 60 or 70. Apologies, 136 spots 70. That's exactly what we look for. Come into our area, go down to smaller time frame, look for your Heath level. Once your Heath level gets tagged, boom, you take your position, you ride that baby out to the lows, you take profits, you move your stop, and then you set in this for the rest of your life if it continues to go lower. But it's also hugely come off. I mean, oh Jesus, like, litecoin 60% off, but no, not a bear market. No, nope, nope. I refuse to call this a bear market. Because it isn't. My ass, it isn't. You've hit oversold regions. You bounced right back up into that 50. I mean, this thing's going to be under all of them. Well, no, touche. And come back above it. So, I mean, that was just a slight little trappy. Yeah, let's call it a trap. 3-day trap. Oh, man, people got wrecked. They were looking for that thing to rip. And I probably would have been too if it wasn't in a bear market. Right? I mean, I could have potentially taken a long entry once that happened, though. But just remember, guys, you're in a bear market. I don't care what your favorite guy on Twitter or YouTube is telling you. Just look at your indicators. 20% off the all-time highs in the S&P 500 is a bear market. Now, we know that Bitcoin can drop 20% in a day. So, we don't call 20% a bear market in Bitcoin. But when it's 40 and 50% off, when do you start? Well, I already did, right? We've been looking at this as bearish for a long time. We'll keep an eye on it. That if it's going to bounce, it needs to do it soon. They'll wait, is what will happen, is your favorite Twitter and YouTube guy will wait until the bear market low is in to call a bear market. The bear market low will probably be in when they say, yeah, we're in a bear market. I love it. I love it. Retail is so funny. Good morning, Jay Bradley. And congrats, Jay Bradley, on making the move to financial freedom. Jay Bradley's been paper trading for a long time. And he is very consistent in his entries. And he felt good enough to go play with the big boys. That makes you my competition, Jay Bradley. Good morning, Janet. I think Wes is jerking my chain with that Tino USDT horse shit. Let's go see if he is, though. I bet he is. Yeah, of course he was. I don't know him. I never said anything about him. If you were in the chat and you're wondering what they're talking about, somebody on Twitter said that I had potential to be, a decent trader, but Tino's the best. I don't know who he is. I've never even heard of him. Doesn't mean he ain't a good trader. I'm just saying. I thought it was funny that he said I had potential. That's funny. Yeah, I got a little potential. The chat just screwed up, so now it's all the way down there. Okay, that's okay. An old 4-hour support. Yeah, perfect timing. Was opening Twitter to see if Heath was posted anything, and the first message I saw was a link to this live stream. Awesome, man. What's up, Heath, Mr. Epic? Good morning. How's Cardano? Yeah, that's a good one to go look at. Cardano's been ripping faces off. Absolutely been bullish, been steamrolling people. But is it over now? You know what I mean? I don't know. That is definitely not daily supply. Maybe I moved it off of daily supply and just didn't kill the... I mean, this was a trap. So this was the level we were watching more so than this level, and then just bullish rip. It's having a down day. I mean, you're above your 50, but I mean, that's 2 days of extreme bullish momentum is the reason why that oscillator is baking like that. And you're above your 21 exponential moving average. Is it safe to start buying it? I mean, that's typically what you want to look for before you start buying an asset. But man, oh man, is it in a downtrend. I mean, it is in a downtrend. As downtrend as you can get. So is this the bear market low on Cardano? Somebody called it always, what do they say? A dollar always? A dollar always? No, to be fair, it did get up to $3. 65% off. No, I think there's some more juice in this baby to go. I don't start looking for crypto bottoms until after 80%. That's when you start looking for crypto bottoms. Is it going to be different this year? I don't see why not. Everybody keeps saying it is, but they're staring their face right into a bear market and they're not even seeing it. Don't even see it. And it's already happened. It's already happened. Is it a good time to buy and accumulate Bitcoin and some of your favorite cryptos? It absolutely is if you are a long-term holder. If you want to buy ADA because you think it's going to be worth $100 in 10 years, by all means, now would be a good time to start putting some on for sure. Absolutely. It's 65% off. Look at it like your favorite pair of blue jeans or your favorite jacket. You wanted to wait to buy it when it was at $500. No, you wait for that baby to come 60% off before you go get it. Same thing with Cardano. Same thing with Bitcoin. Same thing with all financial assets. Wait till there's a sale. All right. So what we're going to watch is, there is your old resistance level at $1.47. Okay. You can round it up to 140. No, you can't. 147. So if that level holds a support, then there is a potential that we could see some bullish price action coming off of this. So what I would advise you to do is watch your smaller term charting, right? If you're looking for bullish entries, you need it to hold at an area of support. There's your 8-hour support, lines up with the daily. Your next 8-hour support is all the way down here to 131. Can some of these tops hold price? Will it? I mean, yeah, it's possible, right? It is possible. I like that one, in fact. That one's nice and pretty. There. Yeah, it held. So if this level falls, 137 is on its way. Will it hold support there? You definitely want it to. So since you have kind of sort of made a new uptrend, you're basically going to be looking for something like this. And you don't want to see it break down. If it breaks down, then this was a selling event, not a buying event. As long as it's above that trend line, then you could potentially look for bullish entries. But you got to understand that it is in a downtrend and you are fighting against the trend. It is in a near term uptrend, very near term, like 3 days upterm or near term. Well, a little longer than 3 days, but you get what I'm trying to say. All right. Excuse me. Hey, Heath, considering the rising interest rates over the course of 2022, do you feel like the NASDAQ has quite a lot of downside till $14,100? This is my think on that sand dip. I'm just going to call you sand dip. My thinking on this is the market's probably not going to overreact to interest rates rising unless the Fed tries to do too much too quick. If they stay at like a 25 BPS hike this quarter or in March, the end of the first quarter, and then do it again in the end of the second quarter, I think the market will probably absorb that okay. If they try to do like 50 now, 50 next week, 50 next week, like if they do something like that, then the market's going to crash. And they know that, so they're not going to do that. They're going to try to implement these rate hikes while leaving the markets intact. That's their goal. That's their goal. Their goal is to Bring in the interest rate hikes and let the market keep running up. That's what they want to see. If the market starts to fall very, very hard, then they'll probably slow down on their hiking until they can figure out something else, which they're not going to be able to figure out nothing else. It is what it is. It's a bubble. They built it. Now we're in it. All of us, not just the Fed. All of us are in it. One could argue and say it's all Jimmy Carter's fault or whoever took us off the gold standard, but nevertheless, they never thought it would get this bad. If you go back and I'd say like just before Ronald Reagan, some of those presidents would be turning in their graves if they seen how much government spending goes on in this country. They couldn't even fathom $1 trillion 20 years ago. Now they're doing that every month. So, yeah, I think it's going to be okay unless they go too fast, too much too fast. Good morning, Tom. This also ties in with the Bitcoin because as per the 4-year cycle, we were expected to go down in 2022. Historically, in this year of the cycle, Bitcoin does go down, and now we also have interest rate issue at the same time. You're right. Yeah, I brought all this up in like 5 weeks ago in a couple of my videos. If you haven't checked those out, go check them out. I've been calling for this a long time ago. All of this stuff that's going on right now has already been documented. But yeah, I feel the same way. So we'll keep an eye on the markets for sure. For sure. Let me see here. I was going to say something else about the topic, but I think you pretty much nailed it. EURUSD. Let's go look at it. Yeah, so we're looking for a bounce. This asset is in a longer term downtrend, but as long as there's oil prices rising and all that stuff, everything, the dollar is going lower, this is going to go higher. This asset is correlated 62% to the US dollar or to the DXY, right? So this is the most inversely correlated pair to the DXY. So whatever the DXY does, this does the opposite, usually. Not usually, almost always. It's got such a high correlation. So if the dollar's going up, this is going down and vice versa. The dollar had a big move. It broke down. I was looking for dollar strength. That's what I was looking for. A couple of other fundamental guys told me I was wrong. I should have been looking for dollar weakness, but I'm not the only one that was looking for dollar strength. There are other analysts that were looking for dollar strength as well. You got a breakdown, but does that mean that the dollar is out of the woods? No, it does not. Here is the euro. You are above the 50, right? Chances are you're above the 21. You are. So while price is structured like this, we can look for bullish entries. The near-term trend is sideways to up. The long-term trend is down. But as long as you're above the 21, as long as you're above your 50, you can take bullish entries. They're not always going to work, but you can take them. It's a safer atmosphere for looking for bullish entries in that case, is basically all I'm trying to say. And we're there. So, I mean, the bearishness is subsiding. You can see how the ranges are getting smaller as you come into some support. That is to be expected if you are looking for a bullish bounce, and we are. We are. I mean, it's possible that they were looking for this as an area to buy the dollar. So, I mean, just keep your eyes on it. I'm going to be looking for bullish entries on it. I'm going to wait for it to find support, and I'm going to look for bullish entries. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But I was looking for dollar strength. And a small part of me wants to continue to say, yeah, we did break down, but we're going to go up, ultimately. Okay, so here is the decline. I don't know where I got this line from. Just this bullish candle here. The reason I used that candle is because that was the test of supply. And then you rip to the downside. So from this move, this decline, your 618 retracement and 50% retracement is here. You can see here is old dollar support. So look for it to find resistance and potentially roll over for another leg to the downside. The reason is because you broke down out of this consolidation, and typically the longer you consolidate, the bigger the breakdown or breakout will be. So we are looking for this to find resistance soon. So on the Euro USD, we are looking for bullish entries, just not today. Not today. Let's get rid of this. So it's making solid impulse to the downside. I mean, it's not ready. We're not looking for bullish entries yet. Not yet. Because the sell side activity is continuing. But it looks like it's running low. I mean, the obvious places I find are typically not the places that it bounces from. And the obvious place would be this swing high right here. And it is definitely into it right now. So it's just one of those things. If this holds support for a day or so, then yeah, we're going to look for bullish entries. If you want to play conservative and you don't want to take a bullish entry yet, then you can wait for that trend line to be broken to the upside before you look for your bullish entries. That would be the conservative play on it. But your near-term order flow is bullish. See? That's multiple days out. And typically, you just need to look a few days out. You don't need to look forever out. You just need to look a few days out because orders are coming in every second of every day. Price is being traded on with what data is in the marketplace right now. So just a couple days, you can look a couple days back, see which direction order flow is, and then look to take entries based on that direction. Once again, I have to say it's not always going to work out for you, but it'll work out for you a lot better than trying to pick bottoms and tops. Good morning, everyone, says FD. Good morning, my friend. Good morning, Run DMC 555. Heath, can you please say something about Bitcoin daily engulfing versus the 3-day chart? How do you think about this when such time frames spit different or contradictory? Okay, yeah, let's go talk about it. So this weekend, I did a video Saturday that explains why you have a bearish engulfing on the daily. I'll go over it briefly once again. So the bearish engulfing on the daily that he is talking about is this boy right here. That is typically a sell signal, especially in a downtrend. If you get a bearish engulfing in a downtrend, typically people are going to look to sell off of that candle because that candle tells a story, right? This whole bit of price action tells us a story. If you go out to the weekly and look at last week's range, this is a breakdown, not last week, apologies, the week prior, because that's the week this is the week the bearish engulfing happened, last week. So the week prior to that is a breakdown week. You took out support on a closing basis. You took out that wick low, you see what I mean? So even though you took out liquidity, if it was going to be a bouncing liquidity grab, then this candle should have closed up. Not necessarily bullish, just above support. Because if it was grabbing liquidity to reverse, it would have closed strong. Instead, it closed weak. So you have to keep that in mind. That is the resistance. And that level is still holding as resistance. Here's last week, you trade up, you close below. This week you open, boom, down. This is a bearish continuation pattern. This bullish weekly candle. That looks, it is bearish continuation. Usually when you get a breakdown, you'll have a pullback, and that pullback will be sold into. So that's what went on there. The only way we stop looking at this as a bearish pattern is if you close a weekly above your 50% retracement or 618 retracement even on the breakdown candles range. So here's the fib retracement tool. Bring it over here. Take it from the high of this breakdown weekly range, because we don't know, if we don't know what's going to happen. Here's bar replay. So we know this happened. We know it happened. We have that on the chart. We go over here. We know the 50% retracement is here. So this week was a breakdown week. So any bearish people are going to look to take their bearish entries around the 50 or the 618. Oh, damn it. That's not what I wanted to happen. Well, anyways, we'll just leave it like that. So price trades up into the 50% retracement and pulls back. Here is weekly, the old weekly support level. Remember I said that daily candles can trade up and down around through weekly resistance and support levels, because it's on that time frame that you need to be concerned on the close. So, but yeah, this is to fake out retail. It's to get people thinking it's a breakout to the upside. Next day happens what? You take out this day's high, and then boom. So they were selling based off of this 50% retracement of last week's range. So what I said was, on the daily, as long as you are trading below that candle's open, you're bearish engulfing, you are going to be looking for potential sell side continuation. And here it is, right? If you would have gotten a close above this, that would have been bullish. That would have meant that these people on these 2 days here that got short would be stuck. They would be under the market. They would be in the red. So their stop losses are probably setting above this wick high. So price was able to get above that and close above that on a daily basis. Then we were going to look for continuation up to old weekly support, which is this stuff up in here. So that would have gave us a decent bullish range. Would have gave us a potential bullish range up to 46 to 111 or 211, sorry. But that's not what happened. What happened is the sell side kicked in. This is a beautiful entry up here for a short. Right? It's a beautiful entry for a short. It got front ran there. This day here, you traded as an inside candle. Both days closed bullish. Boom. There's your answer. This bearish engulfing is controlling price. The 3-day has a bearish. If I said bullish, I meant bearish. The 3-day has a bullish engulfing. So people are concerned. They're like, or like he said, why is that contradicting each other? Because that's what price does, right? That's exactly what price does. It's not contradicted yet either, my friend. 12 hours will be the confirmation of the contradiction, if you will. As long as you are closing above this area here with a 3-day close, this bullish engulfing can still be in play. If that makes any sense to you. So people that are only looking at the daily chart that got short based on this bearish engulfing because of the 50% retracement check, they're short, but they're not getting their bearish continuation they want either. This is not like what you would want to see if you were in a short. You would not want to see this little tiny pathetic bearish range. You want to see a bearish range like this or like this. You want to see that continuation. They're not getting it. This is range-bound trading. This type of trading will destroy retail traders. But I'm here. I'm here to help, right? So if you close a 3-day candle below this candle, below the open of your bullish engulfing, then it's time to rule out the bullish engulfing as anything other than a trap. It's not going to be a trap until you take out the low, though. It's just, you look at it as this. If the bulls were going to get involved because of this bullish signal on the chart. They're going to do it here. They're going to do it here. So this, look back in 12 hours and see where this is. If you close above it, your bullish engulfing is still on the table and you can still see a bullish bounce. Okay? If you're closing below it, look lower. This is going to be my bearish target. So the 2-week confirmed it for us, essentially, that we were going to see more downside. Here, it's not a dramatic close below, but it is a close below nonetheless. So you're seeing continuation off of that. And you can, if I stretch it out like real big, you can see that when this range opened, you tested it and you're down. So you're trading inside of this candle. You are sideways. This is sideways price action. You are inside of this candle. Here is your range. Yep. There's your range, and it's only Tuesday, so waiting for the close on this weekly to determine whether or not this bullish open holds. You have to wait a week. Or you can watch the 3-day because it's a midweek candle. That's why I look at the 3-day. It's half a week, essentially. It's not exactly half a week, but you get what I'm saying. It's the closest thing I got to half a week that I can look at. And so we're going to watch the 3-day close, see where it closes. If it closes below 3-day support, then we're going to have to lean bearish until we get back above that 3-day high. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that clears it up for you. Once again, good morning, Janet. All right, let me get down here towards the bottom. I apologize. If you're up there and you got something you want me to look at, just drop it down in the bottom. Because as long as I'm way up there, I'm missing out on everything down here. Let me see here. Good morning, good morning. Got that. Hey, can you take a look at Theta USD, please? Yes, let's go look at Theta. All right, so here it is. You are trading below support. It's on a 3-day basis. But I mean, let's go to the daily and see what we got going on. You're range bound, right? Range bound at the lows. And I mean, the bounces are getting smaller. It's like a ball bouncing, right? It's losing its momentum off of that. So I'm looking for that to break down. It looks like you're about to break down on Theta. How far are you off on Theta? 76%. Right now, you're trading at 75% off. So this is what I would do on Theta potentially, right? I mean, that's a nasty. So here it is. This is what it looks like it's wanting to do. It looks like it's wanting to break down below that $3.65 area and then get one good run potentially. Then that would be a buying opportunity on Theta. But a set and hold buying opportunity, not a buying opportunity for a trade. It's I want to add Theta to my balance sheet, so, or my portfolio. So I'm gonna buy it when it's cheap. Wait for this breakdown though, because I think it's gonna happen. That's the only reason, and I could be wrong. It doesn't have to break down. Where it's at right now today, it's 76% off, 75% off. 75% off. That's not bad. I mean, if it has the potential to run back up to $15 again, will it? I don't know. Monetary policy is changing. This was all on the back of uber bullish monetary policy, guys. Right? All of it. All of this massive crypto price action we've seen, that could be coming to an end until the Fed has to drop interest rates again. And then when that happens, buy these things because they had the potential to freaking run. But it looks like it's trying to break down. This one's been in bearish market for a long time. I mean, 76% off. That's a bear market. Has his own Discord. Yeah, I just don't talk about it because I don't want to feel like a shill. Because it is hidden behind a paywall, but it is what it is. Heath said a naughty word. I didn't mean to. Sorry. If I said it, I don't remember saying it, and I cannot be prosecuted for of that which I do not remember. I think that's how it goes, right? Can you please have a look at silver? Yeah, let's go look at it. All right, Mr. Silver is in a range. It's bouncing at the lows. It did not test those lows. It did here, but not here. So you're back to the top end of the range. Is it going to hold support here? It's likely. I mean, it looks like it wants to. I mean, you got higher inflation, so I don't know why gold and silver isn't ripping to the moon right now. When inflation keeps moving higher, that is the exact environment that these things usually outperform all other assets. But it's not doing it. Markets are always changing. What happened last year might not this year. If the dollar used to be a risk-off asset, it doesn't mean it will in the future. So just keep that in mind. Whether or not this should be going up or not, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant what we think it should be doing. What it is doing is what matters. It looks like it is trying to find support. It's an old supply level. And those areas will sometimes act as support or resistance. There it was. There's where you'd been looking to take the short as price traded back up into it, and you got a breakout. You got a breakout. So now it's being treated as support. Is it a potential buying opportunity on silver right now? Yeah, it is. Yep, it is. You're almost testing your 50 on the RSI. I mean, yeah. Where is your 21? Yeah, I mean, silver's a buy. But that doesn't mean it's going to work. Please don't buy silver right now and say he said it's going to work and then get stopped out and come on here Thursday and yell at me for being a naughty boy. Because I don't know what a price is ever going to do, but the technicals are lined up to where you can see a bounce on silver right now, a bullish pop. With inflation moving higher, it's a safe bet. It's a safe bet. Looks good. Looks good. Bullish target. There. 23.43. So I would definitely keep silver on my watch list, and I would definitely be looking for bullish opportunities on it. Nice little push lower here, down below hourly support. And now you're back above it. So, see, this is the problem. It can pull all the way back down to 22.83 and be a potential buying opportunity. But there's old hour support. So I would watch that one first. Like, I don't know if I'd put a buy limit order setting there, or if I would rather buy it down here. I know a flash wick down to there and an instant reversal, and I'd be all over that like stink on poo-poo. Right? Just because of where it's at on the daily, what the indicators look like. It looks like it's primed or priming up for a bullish pop. So I like it. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, we looked at ADA. We'll go look at it again. It's coming off pretty good. But, I mean, it's at a potential bouncing spot. Shit. There. We're trading below it, but it is what it is. If you don't want to use that one because it was a trap, use this one. And you can see that you're getting a perfect bounce there. But is it a tradable bounce? It was not. Not yet. It might be. So watch this hourly close right now. If you're looking for buying ADA right now because you think the bullish trend is going to continue, this is where you're looking to buy it right now, 148. If you close an hourly candle below the open of this bullish hourly candle, you scrap the trade. In fact, let me pull up my broker. Just bear with me. I got to get this thing pulled up over here, because that's a potential buying opportunity. What the Well, it's not loading for whatever reason, but I don't need to be in a hurry either. There's this candle just got started, so chances are, yeah, there it goes. It's not going to hold there. But if it closes back up there, then I'll trade it up to here, up to this area here, or I'll look to trade it there. This area might hold it down as well, but if this level holds, you can get a risk to reward that looks something like insane. Shh, damn, what is wrong with me this morning? See, this is what you don't buy it yet, right? Just from here to here is a 2-to-1. Using this right here as potential resistance. So that's where you want to take profits. Will it work? I don't know. I'm pulling up my brokerage though. I just want it to be up and ready. Bear with me, guys. Not a robot. No, I'm not. I'm never a robot. All right. Done. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, but that's what we're going to keep an eye on, ADA. So I'll let one of you keep an eye on it for me. If we get down here and we take out that low, then I'm no longer interested in it, right? Because this is just a bounce off of support. This was a bounce off of the same support. But it could potentially be an opportunity here. Can you please have a look at silver? We just did silver. Could you please check DJI, the Dow Jones Industrial? The markets will be open today. So it had a bad day on Friday. The markets wasn't open yesterday, and I don't know if this asset trades 24/7. I don't think this is the futures. The futures were probably trading yesterday, but this isn't. So, I mean, it's looking weak. The S&P 500 looks a little weak too, but it's in an area that we can't really do anything in. Right? Can't really do anything in. We're about... I posted, if you're not following me on Twitter, it's at trade_talk_, all caps. I posted the expected range on the S&P 500. That's the options market pricing in their expected move, what they think their move will be for the week. And the range is bigger than last week's, and it's a shorter market. So they are expecting volatility for whatever reason. Whatever reason, the options market makers are looking for volatility. So they have priced their expected move higher. I get 88 pulled up and then I'm done messing with this. There we go. All right, so back to this. Yeah, the Dow Jones Industrial, it's weak, so but the expected move range is going to be like roughly 35, 36, 516, and then down here. So it can move into that area, or there's a high probable chance that it will move in and around that area. But yeah, so it'll be just a little bit above the high and then down to the low. So it's going to look similar to the last week's range. If you look at the weeklies, it does look like you are trying to head lower, but since this thing gaps all over the place, it makes it difficult to find beautiful levels to watch. I mean, that was old res, but it closed below it, so we could potentially see it head lower. Next area of support will potentially be 35. Let's just get a line on it instead of winging it. 35, 365. And then to the upside, this week is going to offer up resistance. So there is going to be your weekly ranges or your weekly levels to potentially watch to be support or resistance. Which direction is it going to go? I have no clue. You got below your 50 and you closed below it last Friday, so maybe it's looking potentially for it to pull up a little bit for a pullback move, and probably look to see if short holds at and around demand supply. Apologies. So there's going to be supply. So we'll get rid of this one since we're going to open. Well, I don't know where it's going to open. I haven't looked at the pre-market. But 36.058 is the level I'd be watching intraday to see if that level holds as a resistance. And if it did, I'd probably be looking to take a short, targeting Friday's low. That would be where I took profits if it were to play out like that. But it definitely looks like it's trying to move lower. The technicals say lower. But with these things, you got to be careful because every time they pull back, they get bought up. Every time. I know people are looking for a massive market crash right now, and some people are already calling a market crash, but this hasn't crashed. The Dow Jones Industrial has not crashed. Is it pulling back off the highs? Yes. It's nowhere near a crash. So where you closed on Friday, you're down 2.8% off the highs. That is not a crash. 10% candle, that's a crash. But it looks like it wants to go lower. The technicals say lower. Yeah, 88 grand, 2 standard deviations. I don't use the Bollinger Bands, but if it closed outside, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're looking for bullish entries, or is it a short? I'm assuming you're probably thinking it's a short, because price tends to stay inside of the Bollinger Bands. If you're looking at the 2 standard deviation, the size, that's the size or the range of the bands. I did look at Theta for you already. Not bad throwing $100 on a level you like. No, it's not. A pair of jeans has a fixed price. Crypto does not. I understand that. I was just trying to make a funny. You took it seriously. Unfortunately, as you always do. Always. If you like the asset and you want to buy it, if it's off 75, 80%, buy it. If you don't like the asset, if you're looking to trade it, that's different. That's different. Trading uses a lot of leverage and you're looking for smaller moves. If you're looking to buy it and own it and hold it for years and years and years, absolutely it's a good price to buy it. Apple. Let's go over here and look at Mr. Apple Computer. What is he doing today or yesterday, Friday? Same thing as the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones Industrial is doing. Here was your all-time high. There was your liquidity purge. Boom, down, up, and it looks like you're heading lower again. Once again, these things get bought up rather quickly, usually. But the market is forward-looking, so if it continues lower, then that means that it's not liking the interest rate hike idea. Here is old resistance on Apple, 175.08. Pre-market, you're trading much, much lower. So anybody that bought Apple on Friday is stuck right now. They're stuck. So if they bought Apple and they put their stop below the low of day, when they wake up this morning, when the market opens, they are going to be underwater and prices opening below their stop. So right off the bat, you can look for further down pressure on Apple when we open this morning, just because of all the stops that are firing or going to fire when the market opens. It's going to cause a lot of sell pressure. And on top of that, you're going to have people shorting it to begin with because it is gapping down. Let's go look at it intraday. Let me see. Let me mark out Friday's open first. So here we are. Here's where price is now. That's ugly. I hate when that happens to retail, or me even, because sometimes it does happen to me. I'm not always right when I take my trades. But you're going to get stopped out on as soon as the market opens. Is it possible that you get a spike up into Friday's open? Absolutely. If you do, it might be a good spot to look for that to hold as resistance, to potentially roll over and head lower. People are going to say, well, this is a gap. Look for the gap to fill. No, the gap is only going to be from your open to open. It's not going to be from the high to open. That's not how it works. So all it has to do is retest the open, and you will have gap fillage in the village. So, yeah, keep an eye on 171.34. Could potentially be a shorting opportunity. If you get a 5-minute candle that blasts right through that level, you are taking shorts off of the table. Like if the market opens and the 5-minute just comes right up in the, like, blasts right through there, you're not looking to short it. But if it holds there for sure, yeah, I'd probably look to short it. Doesn't look great. Is it a buying opportunity on Apple? It's only down a couple percent from the all-time highs, so no. I'm not putting any risk on my stock portfolio right now, guys. None. I am not buying. Excuse me. I am not buying anything. Not buying anything. Apologies for that. I have a cold, so I'm extremely raspy and choky and gaggy, more so than usual. Yeah, it's barely off the highs. 6% off the highs. Nah, I mean, it'll be a buying opportunity for some people, just not me. I would love for these markets to get a big pullback because I can load up some more shares on some things. I did buy space the other day, but that's probably a retarded move on my part. EURUSD coming into the 50 spot on last week's bullish candle. Yeah, EURUSD looks like it's getting ready to take off. Check Matic. I think it's just about to break down. Let's go look at Matic. It's breaking down now. It broke down from support. This was support. You broke down yesterday. Today you're moving lower. You're coming into a potential area of support again. This is going to be the main support of this swing low here. But you do have demand right there. So this area can definitely act as support. So ADA, if you're just wondering, it just printed a bearish engulfing on the hourly. So chances are I am probably not going to look to buy that. And there's a lot of time left on the hourly, so we'll keep an eye on it still. In downtrends, man, those pops will get sold into. So, I mean, I think Matic is also one of those meta plays, isn't it? No, Mana. Mana is. And Metaverse is getting crushed today. Down 4, down 4, down 2, down 3, down 4, down 2, down 3. Everything's red in the crypto. So, I mean, yeah, it's coming into a possible area of support. Keep an eye on it. But it is breaking down. Lower high. Let's see what it looks like. RSI, you're down, and you're probably under your 21. If you're under your 50 on your RSI, you're more than likely under your 21, and you are. Boom, there. So yeah, look to short bounces. Any bounce you get, look to take a short side on it. And we could be testing 198 in no time. Thanks for bringing that up, Mr. Epic. Oh, damn, man. I am so far away. FOMC next week, bro. Wasn't FOMC last week? Yeah, it might be, but they're not going to say anything, like, important. Right? They're not going to say anything. They're going to keep on track. They're on track. There's an 80% chance that they will do a 25 to 50 BPS rate hike in March. You're using FXCM, FX charts. If I am, it's not on purpose. It's an accident. I'm supposed to be using Forex.com. What I probably did, Aaron, is I probably just punched the ticker in and hit enter. And if I do that, then it's going to use FXCM by default. Smash the thumbs up. This guy has got potential. I'm going to get you back, Mr. Aaron. I know where you live, sucker. I'm just kidding. Yeah, what do you think about USDJPY? Let's go look at it. Let's take a look at it, see what we got going on. So, dollar weakness, we had it last week, right? A breakdown on the USD. On the DXY, I mean, and we are seeing a bit of yen strength. Better late than never, I guess. I was expecting yen strength a few weeks back. I was wrong. So we're getting it now. And if you get that and you have dollar weakness, this is going to go lower. So that looks like it was a buying opportunity. I mean, a selling opportunity. Apologies. But I don't like the short bullish days. Not at the high. So you had a big bullish pop. This is from the yen news last night. They had their equivalent. It was what, the J something. I can't remember their name, but it's like the same thing as our interest rate decision or whatnot. Then it had a bullish pop, but that pop is being faded. It's being faded. I don't see a bearish entry on it. We are coming into the open. So, I mean, the bearish entry, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm hitting that and then enter. Here's a Wanda. Wow, what's going on there? We're going to look at the open. You're in the open right now, but that's a bearish momentum. Boom, boom, boom. It looks like these first two tests of the open was basically just to get people off sides. This was a full-on test of demand. Full-on test of demand. So, I mean, yeah, it's almost like ADA, right? We're looking for this to hold. If you want to see bullish, if you want to see this go higher, this support on the hourly needs to hold. If you break below that, then you're probably going lower. Right there. Right? That level needs to hold. So this can wick all the way down there. As long as it closes back above this, then it'll start to look better for bullish entries. But like I said, if the dollar is going to continue to be weak and the yen is going to continue to be strong, this is going to be you're going to look to short this, not buy it. But that's only if those two things keep happening. We were looking for dollar strength also. So does this could, I mean, it's a tricky right now because everybody's mixed. Everybody's mixed. You got some fundamental analysts that are looking for bearish dollar or dollar strength, and you got some fundamental analysts that are looking for dollar weakness. It's like split right down the middle, and they have valid fundamental reasons why. Some people, so it's just follow price. That's what we're going to do. We're going to follow price. And what we know that the dollar did is it broke down out of a very long consolidation period. So we're going to look for that to hold. We're going to look for that to be the start of a near-term downtrend. And if the Japanese yen stays strong, this asset will be one of the most attractive ones to look for short side entries. I would not have taken that short, though. Not yet. Not yet. Good morning. Can you look at Alice? Absolutely. So Alice is coming into daily support right there, 1050. That level broke. So that's going to be the new support. Man, this thing was hot not too long ago. Now it's not. Was hot, now it's not. This is a metaverse play, isn't it? Yes, it is. And it's not strong. It is not strong. So this isn't the favorite metaverse play. Or the metaverse hype is over with. Because this thing is 63% off the highs. It got crushed. And it's breaking down support right now. Daily support, it's breaking down currently. So, yeah, not much to do on it. Same scenario, it's 68% off. Does it go lower? It absolutely can. Start to look for around 80%. Is probably when you want to start buying, adding more cryptos to your wallets. If you guys are, bullish on crypto, which I am long term. Absolutely am long term. I'm not thinking it's time yet. I think you got a lot more downside to go on Bitcoin. If the bear market continues, right? If the bear market continues. That's the thing. It's not off enough to say that the bear market is over. Or some people are looking for a bullish bounce. You know what I mean? But being down 40% on Bitcoin, you can go down another 40%. It can go all the way down to 80%. Keep that in mind. And if Bitcoin starts to crash, so will these things. A lot of these things will go down with Bitcoin. They will go down with the ship. Like Smash, thank you so much, Cassidy. Wow, we're still alive. Yeah, because I started late this morning. I like to be done around 7 or 6:30. So that way I can get, everybody in the Discord situated, get my own trades situated for what I'm looking for on the day. But since I was so late, I figured I would just run it a little later. I am about to kill it, though. Once I've been on longer than an hour, it's, it is what it is. But thank you guys for being here. Have you looked at Matic? Yeah, we did. It wasn't too long ago either, so. Yeah, let me go look at SPY. And it's the same thing. You're down pre-market. Man, look at what a beautiful test of the 50 that was. And boom, you're down. So, yeah, I mean, it's your pre-market. You're not as low as you were on the Dow Jones Industrial. The Dow Jones Industrial, you're completely under Friday's low. On this one, you're getting there. So this one's not as bad as the DJI, but it looks rough. It looks like it's going lower. I mean, it's almost identical price action. Big bearish weekly. And then you pulled back up into the weekly Heath level. Oh man, what a beautiful, phenomenal entry that would have been, or was. Not would have been, it was. Boom. Now you're getting continuation. Next, you're into daily support. Right there is daily support. Next area of support is going to be down here. And you can see pre-market, you're trading at the support. At daily support. So if we lose 459.87, 450.29 is going to be my target on the spot. I bought 480 puts when we were up here, so I did take profits on those, but I'm still holding a few of them. Those puts are in the money so good right now, it's insane. But they're going to expire this week. 88 upgrade Tuesday. Careful, could go either way. Yeah, it's a sell the news. It could have been a sell the news event. That's why you got that bullish pop. That's why you're coming off now. I like it more a little bit still bullishly. The daily structured bullishly. So, good morning, Ahmad. Yesterday was NYSE holiday. Yeah, it was. It was Martin Luther King Day. Can I look at CARG, please? Ticker symbol CARG. I'm assuming it's this one. CarGurus.com or Inc. It's trading like the S&P 500. You came off from the all-time highs, just like most of your tech plays. This isn't tech. I don't know. It might be tech actually. It does look like tech as far as it's the way it's trading. It's off of the highs and it's trading in a range. That range looks like it's going to break down. That's old resistance. Here's new resistance. I don't have pre-market on this for whatever reason. There is no pre-market data on this. I do not have my Thinkorswim pulled up, so I can't do that. It would take an hour to load that. But I am buying a new computer soon, so all of those problems will be fixed. I'll be like a real YouTuber. So I'm looking for this to go lower. Watch 3304 as potential resistance. And could that be a short side entry? It absolutely could. Here's you're below your 50 and you're below your 21 exponential moving average. So it looks like a good technical short, like the technical indicators line up for a decent sell side entry. But if I was going to take that entry, I would want it to be as close to 3304 as possible. And I wouldn't just take it there. That's the wrong indicator. I wouldn't just take it there. I would want to see it reject there. And then I could look for potential entries later on. But right now it looks like it wants to go lower. Where is that potential support? Well, let's just go out and find where the weekly is. You're below all your weekly supports. Next weekly support is going to be here at 29.92. Well, last week you were bearish. This week you were bearish. But you closed as a doji. But you did close below that support zone. So this is the next one. And the daily looks like it wants to roll over as well. So, yeah, I mean, I'd look for short side entries and I'd target 29.92. Oh, yearly, monthly. What am I looking at yearly, monthly? YKBNK. That sounds like a penny stock. Oh, it's not even in the US. Yearly and monthly. So there's your yearly. This asset is extremely strong, whatever it is. It's a bank. I have no idea what that means or how to even pronounce it, so we'll not go that route. There would have been yearly res. You broke above it, and you're moving higher with bullish continuation. It's super extended to the upside. There's your monthly. Yeah, you're trading inside of last month's range. It can continue higher, obviously. It is bullish, but I wouldn't be buying it up there. Would not be buying it up there. I would definitely want to wait for a pullback. So whatever this, something happened here, some kind of bad news, but you've already retraced it and you're trading above it. So it looks like it wants to go higher, but it's just you're buying the top. You're potentially buying the highs. Be very careful on it. Down here was a decent time to buy it because you come off. The object in this game is to buy low and sell high. Now up here you're at the highs. You don't want to buy it up there. But it looks like it's going to continue with the bullish momentum. What does under the EMA 21 signify? It just means that your near-term bullish trend is done. Very near term. The 21 exponential moving average, it's just a moving average that tracks price from a period of 21 days back. So it's like a 3-week average. And you're under it. So that means you're just slightly not as bullish as you were, right? That means you're losing bullish momentum. But those are typically in a bullish market when people will buy also. Not everybody, but some people will trade off of them. I only trade off of horizontals. I do not use indicators to take entries. I only use them to show me a bias. And it's not always right either. Oil printed new all-time highs. Let's go look at it, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Because I've been going over an hour and a half. Let's go look at U.S. oil. Yeah, mine too, Wes. So, look for that euro to get a bullish pop. Unless it fails here. If this fails and starts to come off, which it's unlikely that it will, it traded all the way back up there. So you're probably going to stay up here for a little while. So that will validate that we will be continuing to look for DXY weakness. So yeah. I don't see a trade on oil because you are at the all-time highs, and this is not bearish at all. This was bearish. This is not. This was bought right back up. So looks like oil is wanting to go to that $100 region again. It's been a very long time since it was up in those regions. Let's go to here. I mean, it's been up there before. Just where did that nasty wick go? I'm glad they got rid of that. Oh, there it is. Man, that was the buy of the century right there. Buying oil for under $1. Oof. Now it's at $88, $84. Yeah, that was the buy of the century. Fantastico. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any comments or questions, just as always, drop them down in the comments section once YouTube gets done with this video. Yeah. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.